Greetings. Now, today I wanted to talk about something. But before I go into that, I have some good news and I have some bad news. Bad news is I no longer have Sony Vegas. Good news is I found some software that allows me to make my videos um, with the same quality as Vegas. So I no longer have to fear the prospect of having to spend $800 on some software that I might only use for the next 5 years, which isn't worth it to me, to be honest, especially since my YouTube channel is probably just a hobby at this point. Right. But putting that aside, there's something I wanted to talk about. A recurring nightmare that I've had. No, it's not the idea that, oh, my coffee will be replaced by decaffeinated coffee, although that is nightmarish. It's not the nightmare that, oh, every banknote that I see is no longer uncirculated. It's all been folded so many times and it's probably wet with fish blood. Although that is nightmarish, and I do not want to imagine that as I am a collector. Nope, that's not really the biggest nightmare I've had. Instead, this nightmare is about myself, where I somehow keep envisioning that the ghost of Ronald Reagan is approaching me saying, "Trickle-down economics works. Trust me about that. Yeah, and the fact I can talk to you while I'm 6 feet underground is pretty damn amazing. Hell yeah." And then I'm just here like, "Ah! Why is Ronald Reagan in my dreams?" I don't know what that sound was. But yeah, that's the nightmare I keep having. Some ghost of a dead president telling me trickle-down economics works. And I feel like I need to talk about it because if I don't, it's probably going to keep coming back to haunt me. I don't like that. So, let's begin. Right. Now, to begin with, trickle-down economics, or Reaganomics as it's called, thanks to Ronald Reagan, who advocated for this policy in the 1980s. Right. So basically, the idea behind this was that if you allowed a business or corporation to thrive, the idea was that they could pass off that prosperity towards the common masses. The idea was that through the ability to keep an increased amount of profits and revenue, thanks to a reduction in company tax, would allow them to invest that new source of wealth into their existing infrastructure in order to upgrade it to provide us with better goods and services at a cheaper cost over time, which would then be sold to us for a cheaper price, which would increase our material living standards. Now, as flawless as this theory sounds, it has one flaw which it has not taken into account to. The factor, or the flaw, that businesses and companies somehow have a vested interest in improving our material living standards. In other words, sharing their prosperity with us. Not the case. Businesses and corporations only exist for one thing: to keep and generate as much revenue as possible for their own personal enjoyment. It is very rare that they probably use it to, improve the prosperity of the common masses through this trickle-down theory of theirs. It's probably applicable to smaller businesses, but I highly doubt that it's applicable to anything larger than a small business, say a corporation or a really big business that probably earns more than 50 million Australian dollars annually. Or even more than that. But yes, the thing is, it is because of that factor that this theory would ultimately fail. If you give tax cuts and allow the businesses, corporations, to keep most of that wealth, it's very unlikely they're going to share it. Because they now know that the conditions for them are safer and that they can now keep more. Right? Are you following me with this? I'm going to assume you are. So, in doing so, none of that wealth gets trickled down, conditions remain the same, and material living standards would not improve. That prosperity does not exist. So really, Reaganomics, or this trickle-down economics, is doomed to fail from the start, thanks to the fact that it has not taken into account what corporations and businesses exist to do. Their sole purpose is to make and keep money. That's it. Nothing else. You might see the occasional business or corporation saying that, oh, hey, we're here to assist you in some efforts to improve your living conditions. Oh, we support these causes. That's just to gain profit. They don't have an interest in you. Like I said, they only do this so that they can attach that sense of positivity to their brand, which only helps to increase the revenue they gain. If you really want trickle-down economics to work, you need to use both threat and incentive. The incentive? Tax cuts. The threat? Legislation. For instance, if a company or a business does not or fails to achieve a set target, even though you've given them tax cuts, increase the tax. And if they fail to do so again, increase the taxes again until they start doing something with that revenue. Now, this seems ironic. I probably bet there's going to be a few fedora tipping people telling me, no, hang on, but then they'll just shut down. Yeah, but if they shut down, they can't make money anymore. And I highly doubt they would want to get bad publicity, because if they shut down, many workers will lose their jobs and they'll get their necks cut for it. Highly doubt they want to do that. So yeah, if you want Reaganomics to work, which probably wouldn't, threat and incentive. Not just incentive, threat as well. You will need that. Alright, now to end, I'm not a person that's interested in politics in general, now that I think about it. I kind of like, I lean towards more to history. Politics-wise, I'm probably lean or slightly sympathetic to the left, is all I'm going to say. Yeah. Alright then, I guess that's all, and goodbye.